On Friday, I was accused of cheating by a year 1 player, and this is how this game went. So this was just a quick match, so nothing major, and they accused me of being a Zen, which is, I think, like a spoofing device that allows you to have like no recoil and maybe mouse and keyboard as well. So this clip here is the clip in question, which made them report me instantly. So that was the first elimination of the game, and from that, they decided to report me. Now, they said it's because my gun did not have any recoil, but Frost's gun is notorious for not having any recoil because it's such a slow chug gun. It comes with the extended barrel as default because it is such a slow gun. It has virtually no recoil, and even then, I still gave it recoil. But I want to watch this from their perspective as to why they think that I might have been cheating. So if we go back to where I eliminate them, let's have a look to see what they done so they're so confident that I was cheating. So here they throw in a nade. I'm not sure if they've actually droned this room, but they do know there's a frost mat there. So they throw 2 nades, waste both, shoot the frost mat. They haven't droned me at all. I'm just hugging the corner and they get eliminated. And apparently that makes me cheating. But bear in mind, they are a year 1 player, okay? They have no game sense. And so let's watch the whole game. As the game goes on, they're more and more adamant that I'm cheating to the point where they literally report me to Ubisoft, which is so funny. I genuinely thought they were joking. And when I replied to them, I was laughing because I thought they were joking. And then they were so persistent that I was cheating to the point where they've literally like stalked me on here, which is hilarious. And I know they'll probably watch this video because they are quite literally obsessed with me at this point because they're adamant that I'm cheating. But I think they can't accept the reality of they're just pretty cheeks at the game. The main reason for this video is because the cheating situation in Siege in general is very bad in higher lobbies, like especially. I'm not saying that cheaters do not exist in lower lobbies. However, the chances of facing a cheater in lower lobbies is way, way, way less. This person is like a gold, I think, on console, so they're literally never facing cheaters anyway. But on PC, especially in Champ, Diamond, and even Emerald level lobbies, the chances of facing a cheater is 9 out of 10 per game. But in Plat and below, the chances of finding a cheater on PC, I would say is actually like 2 out of 10, and if you're gold and below, 1 out of 10. Now, these aren't numbers that I have randomly plucked out of the air. Instead, I have multiple accounts. I have 2 accounts on PC and console that are Champ Elo. PC, one of them is more Emerald, 1 Diamond, but it's still high Elo. And then I have 3 or 4 accounts. One is Plat, and then the rest are Gold or below. One sits at Gold consistently, one sits at Plat consistently, and then the other 2 are anywhere between Copper and Gold over the course of the seasons. The reason why I have so many accounts is because I use a lot of these on stream when I'm playing with viewers, as I won't use my main account to do follower games when it comes to ranked. And I also wanted to test multiple things. So over the course of about 100 games on each one of those accounts, I have noticed that in the accounts which are between Emerald and Champ, I cannot get a legitimate game. It's impossible. Can't do it this season. It's really bad. But for the account that is Platinum, I can normally get 8 legit games out of 10. Sometimes when it plays 10 games, it might face 4 games of the 10 are cheaters, but then it plays another 10 games and it faces none. So the mean average of cheaters faced on that game, or on that account, sorry, was 2 out of 10. Whereas on the gold/copper/bronze accounts, it was, for the gold account, was literally 1 out of 10. And for the other accounts, the mean was below 1. I think it was 0.7 and 0.2. So lower level accounts, yes, they will still face cheaters, and I'm not disputing that, but it's not as common as they think. But because so many people and content creators talk about the cheating situation, because most content creators are high level lobbies, everybody thinks they're facing cheaters like this person here. So I just eliminated them there, and again, their game sense is diabolical. So let's watch this from their perspective in a second, as I eliminated them as smoke. And the way they decided to play this round is mind-blowing. I want to also highlight, by the end of this game, I went 10-2 and they were 0-2 at the point where I got my screenshot on the final round. I think they might have got an elimination right at the end, but they were just baiting eliminations at that point because they knew they'd already lost. So it's not like that even a good player accused me of cheating. But here they are walking around, which is fine. It's totally fine to roam, but roaming with smoke is kind of questionable as he's more designed to cut off rotations and like plant. I'll be able to hear it, but there is a Blackbeard. You can hear the Blackbeard. They aim the wrong way. Blackbeard is looking at them. They don't see it and they just bot walk away. I then shoot them. They have very low HP at this point. They waste 2 smoke canisters to try and cut off the flanks very early on in the round. And with no HP, they drop down to try and get an elimination. At this point, after eliminating them, they were very adamant that I was cheating, even though they just played really bad. Like, vaulting over that is so loud, so I pre-fired them because I thought they'd jump over, and they did. So they think that I'm cheating, but actually the issue here is they're just not very good at the game, and they just assume that anybody who eliminates them is cheating, and that's part of the issue right now with the cheating situation. It's hard to actually gauge just how bad the cheating situation is because so many people cry cheater when they're just booty cheeks. Again, please let me reiterate, I know the cheating situation is really bad in higher lobbies. I don't dispute that. I've covered this multiple times. I think the anti-cheat is a bit of a disaster this season, and I know they're working on it and upgrading it like constantly, which is great. But for higher lobbies, the game's unplayable right now. For lower lobbies, it's nowhere near as bad as people think, and it's putting people off playing because people are saying that you cannot play at all in any rank, and that's literally just not true. I have been saying it for a little while right now that lower ranks cry cheater because everybody talks about the cheating situation and are almost just salty at the fact that somebody is better than them, and instead of trying to get better or work on what went wrong, they'll just say they're cheating instead. Now again, I'm not saying that people don't cheat in lower ranks, they do, it's just not as present as higher ranks, and this is statistically proven, not just from my experience but also from like the information that the devs put out and things like that. Like, it's not as bad, and I've been saying it for a while, and this person was just a perfect example. Like, it's almost like they gave me the content that I wanted wrapped up in a little bow, as I've been trying to find a way to make a video to talk about this, and this person literally just delivered it to me. They are a prime example of somebody who is not fantastic at the game and cannot tell who is a cheater and who is not, and will accuse anybody who eliminates them of cheating. They never droned, they had terrible aim, they had awful game sense, and yeah, me, the person in the siege com who is notorious of being absolutely awful with their recoil control, is apparently cheating. When I say that the accusation genuinely made my day, I'm not joking. I haven't been accused of being a cheater in literally like 4 years. When I first started playing this game, I'd get accused of being called a cheater a lot because I used to play on 100 cents, and a lot of people on console cannot tell the difference between Zim and high cents players. I no longer play on that cents, and since being a high elo player, I was diamond in 1.0, champ consistently in 2.0, I have not been called a cheater since. If anything, I constantly get told how bad I am at the game because I do not have good aim, I don't have great recoil control, and I play with game sense, and that's how I get to champ with positive KD. It's what my whole content is about. It's why I got into content creation, because I play the game very differently to others, and it really works for me. So to have somebody accuse me of cheating for my recoil control is honestly the best thing that's happened in forever, because that doesn't happen to me anymore, because I am not good at aiming or recoil control. My aim's better than my recoil control, but I don't even try to control the recoil. I just let my recoil go from their body up to their head, and it just works for me. I hope you enjoyed this most outrageous accusation as much as I did, and I know they'll see this, and I'm sure they'll cry in the comments because they now cry on every video that I make because they're obsessed with me, and I hope you all have a good day. I will catch you tomorrow.